Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hello. This is the Church of RNK and I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight. How are you doing? How are you doing? I have no affirmation for today, which is kind of crazy. I normally have an affirmation for every single one of these things. But today I was actually wandering the streets of Ironbridge, which I think is around Telford in the UK. Somebody tell me if you know, if you live around there. And we just came back and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do this live stream because I intended to do it on the way home in the car, but then there was no reception. How can I be in the UK where there's no reception? But there was no reception, which was kind of rubbish, basically. So I thought, whatever. I'll just do it in the car as I intended to. and then go into the house and carry on with the rest of my life. Okay, I'm gonna go share this and then I'll be back. Okay, so tell me where you're streaming in from. We're gonna do this in the car. It's Church of RNK in the car. Okay, so let's carry on. So there are 8 people in the world. I heard this statistic actually a long time ago, and my attitude then was very different from my attitude right now. Now, there are 8 people in the world who control quite a lot of wealth, okay? They control a heck of a lot of wealth. I kind of did a bit of a Google search on this because I remember the statistic this morning. And it's something about 8 people in the world being able to end world hunger, or 8 people in the world have more wealth than about half of the world's population or something. There's been all of these statistics done that 8 people, they're just 8 people at the very top of the world's wealth that could end all of world hunger. Now, most people, and this is the way I used to think, because the first time I heard it, actually, I heard it in a church that I belonged to at that time. And it was all about how, people are selfish and they should share out their wealth and everybody should be equal and this and that and the other. And yes, okay, this may annoy some people, I don't know. But if you see where I'm coming from, you'll understand what I'm talking about right here. This is the Church of RNK, guys, okay? This is Rosemary Nonny Knight. Yes is amens in the comments and join in the conversation, okay? Join in the conversation because I want to know what you guys think about this stuff. When you hear the statistic that there are 8 people on the planet who could potentially end all of world hunger, or there are 8 people, or in fact, actually today, right now, as I was driving home in the car, I don't really like listening to the news or listening to what's happening. I must admit, I just don't, because I just think the whole thing is quite skewed. You only hear the rubbish stuff. You don't really hear the positive stuff. I wonder if I turn this around, does that go upside down? Am I upside down? I think I'm upside down. We'll go back. You hear all this stuff on the news and it can be really negative and it just feeds frustration to people. Okay, so like today was no different. I was coming home. I was supposed to be doing this live stream, but there was no reception. So my husband put on the radio and we're listening to this show that happens on BBC Two, and he was talking about some authority person or some manager person or director person of BHS, which is closed in the UK, and how he's now having to pay 300 and God knows what million back into the pension fund or something. And then of course you have people getting really angry at this rich person that is doing all of this stuff and how could he has 3 yachts and this and that and the other. And it's like, I'm listening to this stuff. Now, I have no opinion on the guy. Truth be told, I have absolutely no opinion on the guy myself personally. Why? Because it's his life. He gets to do whatever. Those 8 people at the very top of the world, they get to do whatever they want to do. And I know that on this journey of entrepreneurship, for the people who complain the most about this stuff would never, and some of you may be annoyed by what I'm about to say here, would never do what those 8 people did to get to where they are. Now, some of you will listen to that and say, oh yeah, well, I don't want to do anything in the hand, as though, honey, I'm getting rid of you because you're interrupting my flow. So, as though, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I say. It's like that guy interrupted my flow right there. But, this is it. People get annoyed with those 8 people that, oh, well, why don't they give away everything? Or like this guy with his 3 yachts and his 300 and God knows what million that he had to give back into the fund. People listen to that stuff. They get agitated. They get frustrated. They get annoyed. They're thinking to themselves, how can anybody have that much cash? How dare they have that much money? And you may be one of those people that thinks that way. And I suppose for a long time, whilst I felt a little bit victim-y, let's be honest, okay? And I get it. This is the way we've been trained to think. that if somebody has more, they should not have more. And so the problem with that thinking more than anything else is that it means that you will not allow yourself to have more. Because if you've made these judgments about those 8 people at the top, or you've made these judgments about that person with his 3 yachts, you are kind of saying to yourself that you are not allowed to have more than just what you need. Okay? So when I say, yes, these 8 people on the planet, is it time for change? Yes, it is time for change. But the change that I'm talking about is the change where each individual person takes responsibility for their own life. Isn't it crazy how disproportionate those numbers are? But there's no need to be angry because everyone can generate. Thank you. You cannot be upset because someone else works there. Thank you. Get in the game. I always thought that how did they exactly? Lisa, I understand now why you're a deliberate millionaire. Basically, I understand even more now why you're a deliberate millionaire, because that is our kind of thinking. We are the mavericks. We think differently. Most of the world is going around getting all angry about the fact that, oh, this person has this. Why don't they share it out with the world? This person, that is not the change I'm looking for. The change I want for every single one of us on this planet is that we recognize that nothing is stopping you from stepping up and doing whatever you want to get whatever you want. So it's like people talking about this guy with 3 yachts. Some of the people talking about it will have 3 televisions in their house. Somehow that is different though. Somehow that is different because you don't have a few million to hand out. So somehow you think that your 3 televisions is somehow different. And I have nothing against your 3 televisions, but I'm saying that the judgments that sometimes people come up with, instead of looking and seeing that nothing stops anyone from doing what these people did. Okay? Others would say, oh, you know, some people were born with it. It's not my fault that I wasn't born into a family that, and for the most of those people at the top, it's not even the truth. It's not even the truth. For most of those people, they literally, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I know Bill Gates is one of them, and I know he didn't start rich. Basically, most of them started exactly the same way as anybody else, except they did what others would not do. They did what others would not do. And for me, that just affirms the power of a human being. That affirms to me what we are capable of doing if we will get over our internal nonsense and our internal telling us that we cannot do this, or that we'll give up the drama that other people want to bring into our lives, or that we accept, more to the point, into our lives. Okay, and so then we say, oh, we don't have time to do this. If they had the same responsibilities I had, no, literally, until we're able to recognize that the only difference between us and any of those 8 people at the top is that they did what we haven't done yet. That it is the work and only the work. It is not about what country you're in. It is not about what color of your skin. It is not about whether you're a woman or a man. It is not about any of that stuff. Somebody's trying to talk to me, sorry, I can't see. You can only acquire the things you dare to dream big for. If you have 3 televisions, you're not dreaming big enough. Possibly, there's a part of me that thinks, yeah, why do we even need one? Okay. But then at the same time, that's not even what I suppose. Yes, yeah, you can only acquire what you dream big enough for. Absolutely. If you get a picture of it in your mind and you choose to do the work to create it, then yes, there is nothing outside of your reach. And I have to remind myself, I don't say this as a judgment against anyone, because you know what? I've been there. I've been the victim. I've learned how to be helpless. I've lived in a third world country where literally there is a feeling, and I'm not saying that's for everyone, but there is a feeling that if you come from US or UK or Australia or whatever, then you're supposed to just give to everybody else who lives in Africa or something. That was me. That was me as well. When my uncles would come back from America, it's like, oh, did you bring me anything? Did you give me some money? As if I had no control over my own abilities. I was a victim for a very long time. So I talk to you not as not judging anyone, but as someone who's just trying to ask us all to wake up. Wake up to what we are capable of. Wake up to what we can do. Instead of looking at other people with envy and annoyance and anger at the stuff that they have worked their socks off. And I know that I have been on this entrepreneurship journey, and I know just how tough it is to kind of get above what you would consider your station in life and choose that, you know what, no, I refuse to settle for any less than every single thing I desire. And then you get in the back of your head, oh, but am I allowed to go for everything? Flawed thinking. Because it isn't, to me, now I recognize that what I was feeling is that is kind of selfish, okay? Because then all you're thinking about is you. And what can you do with the money you get? Everybody's all about, oh, I'll give to charity, or all those rich people should give to the poor, or I'm going to give to the poor and this and that. But how can you if all you're aiming for is just enough for your needs? I have to take myself into the house and try and get the Wi-Fi connection now. The connection is still weak. Annoying. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to take myself in the house. So I've left my car door open now. I have to go back out. Honey, can you help me go and close the car door? Can you bring my bag in, okay? Okay, so connection is still weak though, which is a bit annoying. Oh, connection is still weak. Connection is weak, even though I'm in the house now. Annoying. Anyway, we're just going to keep talking because I know you'll be able to hear me. You might not be able to see me though. I don't even know what I was saying, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, we have choice. And that is the change that needs to come about. What has my daughter dropped? That is the change that needs to come about, is the recognition that we have choice. Are you okay, honey? Okay. The house is oh, hey, it's back to being normal. Is she okay? She's supposed to be bringing my bag. Anyway, yes, we have choice. We have choice, and that is the change. The recognition that we get to choose how our life plays out. We get to choose what happens. We get to choose whether we're going to be rich or poor or I don't know what. And it doesn't, again, matter where, I'm taking off my jacket at this point, where we are on the planet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what color of our skin. It doesn't matter. Any of this stuff doesn't matter as much as we sometimes tend to think that it matters. Okay? We've learned sometimes to be helpless. I'm trying to catch my thoughts here. We've learned to be helpless. We've learned to think that we need someone to come and rescue us. Religion has taught us this. Our education system teaches us this. Our parents probably taught us this. They taught us that all the systems, all the worldly systems teach us to be helpless, to look to somebody else to come and rescue us. Whether it's you look to the government, you look to your politicians, you look to the owner of your company that you work for, you look to, somebody that comes from a different country that seems to have more money than you. You look to God to come and save you. You're waiting for someone somewhere, somehow, to come and rescue you from what you consider to be the bad circumstances of your life. But the truth of the matter is that we're all created with incredible, yes, my thing is down here, but look down here. We're all created with incredible power, incredible strength. We can be one of those 8 people, we can increase the number from 8 to who knows how many, because there is more than enough for every single person. When I stop to think about it, I always think that, people talk about how the humans are eating up the planet and this and that and the other. The only reason why our planet would destroy, power of choice is absolutely our gift. Absolutely. The only reason why our planet would be depleted of resources is because someone out of the 7 billion people on this planet isn't, or 6 billion and 900 and God knows what, 1,000 million, I don't even know how to add it all up, are not awake and doing the things that they're here to do. Because inside, I just don't see a universe that would leave us without the capability to survive. Except most people are playing small. Most people are playing small. They're telling themselves that they're waiting for, I don't know what, the right time to do the things that they dream about doing. Or they can't do it because, oh, I live in some country where there's lots of hardship and so therefore I can't do blah, 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 blah. And the truth of the matter is that for every 10,000 people who are saying that they cannot do blah, blah, blah because of their economy or because their politicians are crooked or because, there is one person. For every 10,000 to 100,000, because yes, it is a very small proportion, there is like one person who is just ignoring all of that nonsense and getting on with it. There is one person who is putting their head down and working their ass off in the same environment, but refusing to believe that they are helpless. Whereas everybody else is listening to the news, getting all frustrated, thinking that, oh my gosh, the economy is going down the drain and the government is horrible and the government should set all these rules because that, this and that and the other. And how dare this rich man take this money? And you know, my life is hard and my blah, 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 blah. And you know what? Again, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just kind of, this is what I see. This is what I think. This is what I believe, okay? And a lot of people don't always agree with me. And most people are like, it's because you have so much opportunity that, no, honey. I lived in a third world country, okay? If I was blessed, it was because my parents probably put inside of my head somewhere that, honey, it's up to you, man. But even then, I still lived as a victim for a very long time. Very, very, very long time. I lived like a victim, thinking that I had to wait until things happened to me. Then things would work. And I'm calling you and everyone listening to me out of any kind of victimhood. Now, this is not something that people ever want to admit that this is what they're doing. But you know, when you do that whole, let me pray, I'm going to pray about this thing, and then I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to wait for God to send a miracle. That is you being a victim. Okay? That is you being a victim. Let me affirm, but I'm too scared to actually take action, so I'm not going to do anything. That is you being a victim. That is you waiting for someone else to come and rescue you. Because, if you affirm long enough, something will change. Or if I pray hard enough, God will send his angels to come and rescue me. No. God has given you everything you need to flourish, to prosper. If you have a dream for something, you can be assured that you have exactly what you need to make it happen. This must be for me. These are so my thoughts. People think the sky is the limit. I think infinite and beyond. Why let the sky be our glass ceiling? Absolutely. It's just, if you catch yourself, okay, this is a good test. If you catch yourself ever thinking something negative about someone that has a lot of stuff, you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why do I think that I cannot do this myself? Why do I think that I cannot have all of this? In that moment, you're being a little bit of a victim. And I have to do this to myself as well, okay? So please don't see me shouting at you and thinking, no, none of that. What I am saying is, guys, we are capable of so much more than we've allowed ourselves to experience. We have these rules that we live to, telling ourselves that it would be selfish to have more than a certain amount of money. And no, we can't do that. Or even for some of you, you get that money and you give it all away because you're so worried about keeping any of it. So next thing you know, you're back to square one. You're always struggling for money, always wondering, why can't I get ahead? Because you haven't really taken some time to be deliberate about the way you think about money and you think about rich people, and you think, I don't even care, don't even think about rich people, be thinking about what you want to make happen in your lifetime. Guys, we get such limited time. We get such limited time to do all the work that we're here to do. Limited time. So we don't have time to mess around allowing listening to the news, getting annoyed with all the rich people and what they're getting up to. And again, I have no judgment against them because I know what it took to get to the place where you have that much money. It's never as easy as people seem to think when they're sitting down, going to their jobs every day, doing just that and saying, my life is hard. Be an entrepreneur and make it work. That will show you what hardship is. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe that's a judgment, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Okay? At least it's my truth. Let's put it that way. It's my truth. And that is why a lot of people will not do it. Guys, if there is to be a change, We are the change. Each one of you that are listening to this right now or will listen to this, you are the change. You are the magic that is the change on this planet. We are the ones that have to wake up and stop being so afraid. I'm glad you feel my passion, Nonny. I'm glad. We can no longer be afraid, and I'm saying this to myself as much as I'm saying this to you guys, because I know where I'm afraid. I know where I pull back. I know where I don't do what I could do in order to make sure that my message gets out into the world and that people wake up, and that I am doing the empowering people into financial independence that I really want to do for and that I don't care where you are on the planet. I do believe that you are capable of so much more than you've recognized. And it's time for us to wake up. If we want there to be more than 8 people that control a heck of a lot of wealth, then wake up. It isn't, they don't, how dare we think we have a right to ask them to share their wealth with us? How dare we presume to tell someone who has sweat, blood, and tears to get where they are? How dare we presume to tell them that what they should do with their money when we are not willing to do what they did? Okay? Again, some of y'all have judgments inside of you that say, yeah, but they did negative things. They did. That is not usually the truth. That is what the media has fed you. That is probably what your religion has fed you. That is probably what your who knows what has fed you, but it's not the truth. Most people are good at heart. Okay? Most people want people to flourish, but that does not mean that they should just hand out their wealth to you, because the truth of the matter is, if you are not the character, if we've not built the character to handle that money, you will lose it and be back to square one before you even can say 20. We've all heard the stories of those that win the lottery and all of that kind of stuff. It sounds like a cliche now, but it's the truth. If you haven't worked your bums off, or you even hear about, one generation, they work their asses off, they make a heck of a lot of money, they give it to their children, the children squander it. Why? Because they did not work their asses off to get that money. So they don't know what it takes to create it or keep it. And so when you make those judgments about people who have shed blood, tears, sweat, killed themselves, gone through the darkest of dark nights thinking, what the heck am I doing? Nobody wants what I have and I'm still here. Why am I crazy? My children are, because some of them would have gone through having to look at their children, their partners probably left them because they had this vision, they had this passion that would not be denied. And everybody else was going about their business saying, why do you care so much? Why can't you just be a normal person and just come and have a job over here? And they said no. And because they said no, you're probably using some of their goods right now. And yet we dare to presume to tell them what to do with the money that they sweat, blood, and tears to create, instead of us waking up and getting on with creating our own. How dare we? And yes, Lisa, I'm glad you hear my heart here, basically, because I just started thinking about this morning, and then on the radio, this thing comes on with this guy, which in the UK anyway, this guy had to pay back 300 and God knows what, and there's all these people coming on the radio talking about how dare he? It's not ethical. It's this and that and the other, even though he followed the law, basically. And I have no judgment. Okay, maybe he could, if he wants to do something out of the goodness of his heart, that's fine. But for people who refuse to do what he did, to now be making all kinds of judgments about what he should do now with the money that he created, that annoys me, because that tells me that people think they are helpless. That tells me that people think they cannot do what this dude did. And I do not believe that for a second. I see people and I see that they are stronger than they realize. Okay? I see people and I see that they're stronger than they realize. And sometimes these things that are there in place to try and support you, like, they actually keep you in a prison because they convince you that without the help from the government or the help from whoever, you are not able to survive. And I see that happening. I'm a landlord. I see that with some of my tenants. I see how, they're so dependent on the government. And I have, I'm not saying that we shouldn't care for people who are poor, but I am saying that sometimes the care becomes the prison. It becomes the prison. that people cannot break away from. You hear, I remember being a pharmacist, people come into my pharmacy telling me about how they cannot find a job or they cannot go to work because if they go to work, they will lose their benefits. And so the benefits pay more than the work. Do you see how this makes people weak? And I know it was started with the best of intentions, but then I look at it now and I'm thinking some people who are so capable. You know what, when I became a landlord first, because I deal with this, I used to deal with a particular kind of group of clients because I did rooms and such. So I particularly helped a certain kind of clientele. And some of them were so savvy, so wise, so cunning in the way that they can, work the system to get what they want. And I just kept thinking, now, if you would use that same energy to do something for yourself, you would be a millionaire. You would be a millionaire, but the system has somehow taught you to be helpless. This isn't even what I wanted to talk about today, but I feel annoyed because sometimes I have this conversation with people in my house. They come to my home and I get really passionate like this about it. And I'm talking about it and they just say, it's Rosemary, it's because you don't understand how hard it is and this and that and the other. And I'm just like, you guys see that you think that people are weak. Whereas I think that people are strong and that these things weaken them. Anywho's. Guys, it is time for us to wake up. For us to become the leaders we are born to be. For us not to look, we can look at those people up there, the 8 people up there, and learn what they did and then start to do it. But apart from that, we just need to step up to the fullness of the power within us. We are incredibly powerful, but we forget it. We forget. In the chaos of everyday life, we're scurrying around like, mice sometimes or hamsters on a wheel, going round and round and round, doing the same thing every single day. Nothing seems to change. We forget just how powerful we really, truly are. And I am just reminding you, the mavericks. The mavericks, because, a lot of people, unfortunately, are not mavericks. They've been trained into being silent and just getting on with life. I'm glad you do, Bill. I'm glad you do. They've just been trained to get on with life, but I'm calling them mavericks, okay? The mavericks who there's a hunger inside of you to be more, to do more, to have more. You're fed up of feeling stifled and whatever, and you're ready to take full responsibility because that is it. It's taking full responsibility for you. Yeah, mindset and beliefs absolutely need shifting. And yeah, definitely those mindsets need shifting. Absolutely, Lisa, that is so true. And yes, we need to do the work. We need to be willing to take the risks that others have taken. We need to be willing to not be scared of failing, to be willing to give everything for the passion, for the vision inside of us. So when people talk about passion, the real meaning of passion is like something really terrible. It's really like, something that will almost kill you. It's like the Passion of the Christ. Did anybody watch that movie? My goodness, I just cried my eyes out the whole time. Basically, I could never watch it again. But it's like passion is actually a painful thing. But people talk about it as if it's some kind of joyous, always happy thing. And I'm not saying this is it. When we're in the flow of what we're here to do, it is a joyous, passionate thing. But I know, for one, I work pretty dang hard. I was having a conversation with my daughter this morning, okay? My daughter was like, how can you wake up every day between 3 and 4, mommy? Don't you get tired? What is going on? Why do you? And I was just like, honey, you do not even understand the passion inside of me. Because if you knew the dreams, the hopes I have for you, as well as I have for the people I'm called to serve, you will know why I wake up every freaking day. Today, I woke up at 4:30 and I'm thinking I'm very late. If you knew the passion inside of me, you would understand why I must wake up every morning, earlier than the household, to get to doing the work that I'm here to do. Because I don't have time. I spent too long faffing around being a victim. And maybe you have too. So can I ask you to wake up? It is time for us to wake up. It's time for us, the mavericks, to become the leaders who impact nations. Yes, passion, the pain, not the joy. Well, we want both. We want both. Basically, we want pain and joy. But ultimately, we need to recognize that it's not always joyous. It sometimes is plain dang scary. I talked about fear yesterday. If you didn't watch yesterday's live stream, then you might want to watch that. But it's time we started running towards the fear. Give up this whole learned helplessness thing. Yes, pray, 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 pray. But then move powerfully. Expecting miracles to meet you on the way. But even if no miracle comes, know that you are the miracle. You are the miracle. Everything you need is inside of you to create the dream, the purpose, the vision you have. So let us take full responsibility for being the powerful people we are born to be. Okay? So I want to make this invitation to you guys right now. The Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club, that is where you need to be. If you want the tools of creating financial independence, come and join us in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. If you are done with place one and you want to be surrounded by people who are moving forward, come and join us in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. That is the place to be. And that is definitely where I am building a community of people who are done with playing small. And I don't care where you are on the planet, because this is a thing that is part of as part of the club, is that I have made a decision to make it so affordable so that you can't tell me that, oh, well, you know, the exchange rate is so crazy, whatever. There is always a way, because I've made a way. Okay, I've made it so affordable that some people will look at it and think there is no value to it, and yet I've made it this affordable because I am called to empower 334,000 people worldwide. I do not want you to tell me about how, you know, the exchange rate is horrible, I cannot afford it. Yes, we will find a way for you to come in if you are serious about becoming a leader who actually impacts your community and starts making a change, making a difference with your business, okay? So you may be in business right now, you're thinking about business, but you need to be a member of the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club, because, honey, that is the place to be. If you listen to this and you resonate with what I'm saying here, then you need your posse around you. You need the tools, the training that will move you forward. And I know that for most coaches, they make these things so expensive that most people cannot afford them unless you live in the UK or the US or whatever. And I am making it affordable to everyone, whether you live in the UK, US, or anywhere else. Come and join us if you are serious about taking your life to the next level. If you're serious about impacting more people than just you and your family. If you are going beyond being that selfish, okay, like a normal person who just wants to just have enough for themselves. No, I do believe that every single person on this planet can live in luxury as well as impact a lot of other people. In fact, in my perfect world, everybody lives in luxury. Everybody has it because I want to lifestyle. We wouldn't even be having this conversation about, world hunger or anything like that. It is crazily affordable. It is heavily packed with value, and Lisa knows because she's one of us. Basically, so come and join in. It is rosemarynonny.com/DM fast track. It is time. It is time for change. It is time for change. Are you ready to be part of the change? rosemarynonny.com/DM fast track. It is time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you are born to live, because you freaking want to. Okay? Until the next time, this has been Rosemary Nonny Night on the Church of RNK. If you listen to all of this, then you did good. Yeah, you need to come and join us in the club. You're definitely one of my people. Okay, and my daughter wants to say bye. Okay, much love, my honeys, and I'll speak to you again soon. I really hope you heard my heart through this. And if you resonate with what I'm doing here, then come and join the club. I don't care where you are on the planet. Reach out to me. We can make something work, because it is time that you got the ability, the tools to reach financial independence, so then you can go beyond just being independent to helping anybody else that you are ready to help. But you cannot help anybody from a position of weakness yourself. You cannot help anybody whilst you're playing victim. You cannot help anybody while you think you can't afford this, that, and the other. It is time. And I love you too, Lisa. It is time for us to wake up and be the leaders. Come and join us in the club, rosemarynonny.com/DM fast track. Guys, I'll see you again. I will keep talking forever if I don't stop. So, much love. Go forth and prosper. Until the next time. Bye.